Here's the guard lock. You wouldn't know it, but that right-hand wall is the top end of the lock. That's all a man-made berm. That was the tail end of the lock there. Unfortunately, it's become a dumping ground. People can be so horrible, can't they? But let's just see what we've got down here as I go along. Springtime's a wonderful time to get a look at the canal before things leaf out. I've probably got another couple weeks, and then I'm going to be stuck in the woods, huh? So here you can see, this is way filled in. It's very hard to make out exactly what's going on. But if you look right over here, the edge of that stone right there is one edge of the lock. Let's see now if I can make my way around and see what we've got going on here. Eddyville was flooded any number of times, in some instances devastatingly so during the Canal era. Really gets kind of hard to make out. Maybe that's sort of the fun of it. I gotta say, part of what got me so interested in the canal, besides buying a house right across the street that was built probably because the canal was there, I shouldn't say across the street, it was actually on the side of the canal in the era. There's the one side, the outer walls. Believe it or not, what we're looking at right here was the mouth of the lock. And maybe you can see, just maybe, let me see if I can zoom in there. Oh, not too far now. There's the other edge of the lock, that stonework. So this lock would have been, I'll have to look it up on the maps, but it looks to be about 10 foot like most of the locks. So there's the lock wall right there. And all this area that's filled in. So there you go. Now you're looking straight down the lock. I'm going to go up this other side, I guess. And we'll just see what we got going on here. Besides the massive amounts of litter. My goodness. So the lock would have run all the way up over to here. So you see that stonework just beyond the couch? Isn't that horrible? That's the road side, I think. No, actually boy, it's hard to say when it gets this overgrown, isn't it? Right up there is a bit of stonework, but pretty much it's all filled in. Let me just go make my way through the underbrush and garbage. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. We're lucky, despite the fact that you and I can't see this today, it's sort of fortunate that it's filled in, because I'll bet a lot of it is still intact in this buried section. Now if you look over there, let me see if I can zoom in. There you go. You can see the two sides, the masonry, cut stone masonry sides. Look at, what did it take to cut those stones so perfectly? And there you go. Just over this way is where the entrance would have been back in the era. They had to build a guard lock in this point. This was after a 2 or 3 mile stretch where they were on tidewater. The creek lock locked out, lock number 2. And here they had to re-enter a slightly quarter-mile stretch, I'm going to say, to get past the Eddyville Dam. It's probable that they had to actually raise the height of the Eddyville Dam after 1850, when they went from boats that had about 4 foot of draft to boats that had 6 foot.